and good evening, everyone. It is me, Laura Menorah, coming to you live with Laura Menorah's Hanukkah Quarren Kiki Extravaganza. Now, tonight, we're going to make a festive, traditional dish that the Jewish people eat around Hanukkah time called latkes. And I'm very excited to welcome you into my home to show you how they're done. Now, I know it's been quite a year, and, I think one of the best remedies to an awful year is always fried food. And that's what latkes are. Latkes are a potato-based dish that's fried in oil during the holiday of Hanukkah. Now, Hanukkah is the festival of lights for the Jewish people. Now, back in the classical civilization times, when the Greeks took over what is today Israel and Jerusalem, they decided to take over our temple. And when the Maccabees, the ancient Hebrews, decided to rebel against those terrible Greeks, they took back our great synagogue. Most of you see it today with a huge gold dome over it in Jerusalem. But when we took it back, there was a menorah inside a synagogue, typical of most temples throughout our faith and around the world, and they're always lit with the eternal light. Well, as you can imagine, after a long fought battle and after the reclamation of the synagogue, there wasn't much oil to make that Hanukkah burn. And so they filled it with what oil they could. They sent people to the next village to go get oil, and they waited. And day 1 went by, day 2 went by, day 3 went by, the menorah was still lit. There was not enough oil that should have lasted that long, but then it lasted for 8 nights. Can you believe it? And so it was a miracle. It was the miracle of lights, and that's why our latkes are representational of our holiday. The oil that we cook them in represents that everlasting fight that our people had to reclaim our synagogue and our faith back in ancient times. So without further ado, let's put the shtetl to the metal on these latkes, and let's get going. So what I like to do is, what you're going to need is, you are going to need a fryer of some kind, filled with about 1 inch of oil, and let's turn this on right now to get going. You will, I would say, to make it easier, need a Cuisinart, but you can use a cheese grater if you want to shred your potatoes. You're going to need half of a yellow onion chopped, 1 egg already cracked in a bowl ready to go, teaspoon of kosher salt, 1/8 of a teaspoon of pepper, and then one of the key ingredients to the dish is matzo meal. Matzo meal. We'll be mixing all this together once we shred the potatoes. Now, to make it a lot easier, what you're going to want to do is, after washing these potatoes thoroughly, you're going to want to quarter them, like so. Now, this is always such a fun holiday that we have. It comes right around the holiday season of Christmas and Kwanzaa, and so it's very inclusive especially in the United States, in our holiday season. And we light a candle each night to signify the 8 nights of Hanukkah. Now, also what comes with it is that people associate around Christmas time is the gift giving, and we all love gifts, right? I know I do. And what happens is every night you usually get a little small trinket of some kind. Some children out there prefer Hot Wheels, you might see that. A lot of stocking stuffers. Me, on the other hand, diamonds and jewelry. Any size, any value, I'll take it. Now, I'm going to go over here to my Cuisinart, and I'm going to shred these potatoes. So bear with me for a minute, but this is the real fun part. If you have any aggression from the last year, this is a great time to get it all out. See, this really takes, several minutes off the latke making process, and you can just shred them easily like this. Now, the one thing I do enjoy about Hanukkah, especially in these times right now of quarantine, is that I know as a Jew that at sunset during Hanukkah each night, that there are millions of other Jewish people lighting their menorah and frying latkes along with me. And so even though we're stuck in our homes alone, avoiding this pandemic, you're not really alone, right? And so it's nice to have this tradition and this comfort food to help with the process. Now, just a few more here. And then, after you do the potatoes, you're going to want to get some of that onion in there, and don't be afraid to use your hands. Now this will really help increase the flavor in this very starchy food that we all love. Oh, you might get a little onion in your eye. That's never a good thing. Stand back is what I like to say. And with that, you should have the base of your latkes. Now, I'm going to get a bowl for mixing. And one other bowl, a smaller bowl filled with cheesecloth. Now, watch what I'm going to do here. We're going to lay out the cheesecloth like so. Now, once you've made your shredded potato and onion mix, you're going to pour it into the bowl with the cheesecloth. Fold it up, like so. And go over to the sink. After you drain your freshly cut potatoes and onions, you're going to empty them into your mixing bowl here. Now, all the ingredients I laid out for you at the beginning of the video should be ready to go. So we're going to do the salt and pepper, the egg. Can't forget your matzo meal now. And get your hands in there, and we're going to really mix it up good. And when I say mix it up good, you want to get everything mixed together. You want that egg, you want the salt, you want the matzo meal. It's almost like you're kneading bread a little bit. But get all that good stuff in there, because that's what's going to help bind your latke together when you begin to fry them. Now, it was essential to drain these potatoes for your latkes to fry. The fryer does not like a soggy latke, okay? It likes a nice and drained latke going in there. But you are going to get a little bit of that starchy potato juice that you drained out. And just hit it with a dash of it, because that starch does help bind everything together in the end. So, super easy. Super easy. By the way, you don't have to be Jewish to make these either. Our faith very much welcomes other faiths and other individuals and other beliefs, welcoming our food and our traditions into their culture as well. And we always like to be respectful of other people's cultures over in the Menorah household. So now for cooking, it looks like my oil has heated up, my Hanukkah oil. You're gonna want a spatula that has a little flex to it, okay? Well, and there we go. You drop a little piece in, you hear that crack. Oh, Jesus. Once you start to get the poor woman's chemical burn off the oil, you know that they're ready for frying. So, without further ado, make a little, like, ball patty here, okay? Put it on your spatula and gently ease it in. And yes, oh, that sizzle, that's exactly what we want. Now, back when I was married to my ex-husband, Marty, he used to love latkes all the time. But then he decided to cheat on me with my sister, Lenora, and no more latkes for Marty. Anyway, I'm glad I could share my recipe with all of you. So one by one, you want to just ease them on in. Make sure they're packed tight. And in they go one by one. Now this will be a very quick process once you get started. So once you get a couple going, what I like to do, I like to lay down some paper towels. And no biggie if you don't have it, but it really is a lifesaver, is some cooling racks. Okay, now there's a right way and a wrong way to check on your latkes. The wrong way is to lean over completely like so. And the right way to check your latkes is to simply take that bendy spatula I mentioned and lift a corner up. And if you see that it's golden brown, that's perfect. What you want to do is carefully take it. Oh, yes, there we go. Now, the frying really does happen pretty quickly. Now, the other thing, too, that I like about latkes is there's a lot of different ways you can make them. You can make them with a more kind of mashed potato consistency. You can make them with the shredded consistency. You can also make them different sizes. They don't have to be as big as the ones that I'm making here. So, you know, we'll make a few small ones. They need some friends in there as well. Again, don't burn yourself. And, I mean, that's it. It really, you don't need a Michelin star certificate to cook latkes. They're super easy. They're super fun. And as these cook here, I'm going to get some of the condiments that you eat traditionally have. Both applesauce and sour cream are great condiments to go with your latkes. And if you can't make your own sour cream, store-bought is okay now. So you take these, and then once these are done, well, and now we're back due to some TV magic, and it looks like my latkes are circling the runway on finishing here. And you know, while they do, I thought it would be a great opportunity to teach some Yiddish slang. So, bear with me. It's a lot of huchin and fuchin and huchin and wachin and tachin, all right? And so, at this point in the latke making, I'm schwitzing. I'm schwitzing, which means I'm sweating because I'm so damn hot from cooking these latkes. So say it with me at home. Schwitzing. It's a word you usually hear a lot of older Jewish ladies say on a hot summer day. The other word I love to tell people is if we didn't drain the latkes, okay, and we had put them in all smushy, they would have come out nish git, okay? Say it with me. Nish git. Means not good, okay? Fortunately for us, these latkes are going to be super tasty. And as we talk about the tastiness, I think one more flip here. I think a flip here and a flip here. Yes, now this is the color that we want. This is the golden brown that you want of your consistency when you fry your latkes. Again, put them on the cooling rack to cool for a hot second. You really do want that golden, crispy brown. It pretty much is one big hash brown that you're frying up. God, and if you have a fryer like the one I'm using back in the day when our country used to make something, it's fabulous. I think this fryer right here is over 45 years old. Can you believe? What a deal! Alright, so now as I get ready to get these latkes out, we're going to let them cool here for a minute. Tell you what, my latkes bring all the boys to the yard, and in a Quor and Kiki, that's max 9 boys! So, get ready! Woo! Hot latke. Now, again, some of the traditional condiments that you can use. Store-bought applesauce, just fine. Pour that out. And of course, your sour cream. Make sure you turn off your fryer. God forbid you get any of that hot oil on you. It will not be fun. And the favorite part of the show, the taste test. I'd like to invite John from the center to come and join me for a taste test. Come on, John.
Ooh, these look so good.
Oh, God, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, honey?
Good. Welcome to my kitchen.
Oh, these smell so
Here's
good.
a fork. Nothing makes a Jewish woman happier than feeding people. So get ready. Take a latke.
Okay.
And then we have, I know, some sour cream and applesauce here.
I almost dropped my latke.
I know. No one likes to drop latke.
I'm going to get crazy and I'm going to do both.
Okay, and I'm going to do a little applesauce. And then, you know, just pour a little on top like that. It's kind of like a little slider when you think about it. Now, you know what else is also really good? If you have some roast chicken or brisket or pastrami, you can even put a little on that on and make a little latke sandwich if you're feeling yourself. Now, let's dig in. Let's take a little bite. Now, that crunch, that's already a good sign.
That's a good crunch.
Now that's a latke.
That's a latke.
That's a latke.
Oh, those are so good, Laura.
Yeah, it's simple like that. Easy, traditional Jewish food.
I could eat this.
This is comfort food for
This
sure.
is real good. This is good wintertime food.
Great, snowy. You just lit the menorah. The kids are opening their presents, and you're off in the kitchen having yourself a little latke.
Mmm.
Absolutely delicious. Well,
I love it.
I think that's all the time we have for today.
I know.
With that, from the Menorah house to your house, wishing you all a very warm and happy holiday season. And together, we will get through this pandemic, and hopefully I'll be able to cook for you in person this time next year. Be well. Happy Hanukkah, everyone. We'll talk to you later.